Hello guys, in this series of video we are going to discuss about the fundamentals of mathematics that you might have forgotten. And in the first chapter we are going to discuss about real numbers and other fundamental topics. So we'll start this series of video with real numbers. So before going into real numbers, we should understand what is set or collections of objects. Objects means anything like numbers, letters, and it can be anything. But in mathematics, we deal with set or collection of numbers. So we can have different kind of collection of numbers, and we'll call them with different name. So the first category of this collection we will call is natural numbers. And this category of collection contains numbers like 1, 2, 3 that we learn during our childhood when we first start counting. Then we learn addition, subtraction, multiplication and division with these natural numbers. But we encounter a situation where we do not have any answer if we think in terms of natural numbers. Let's say we are subtracting 3 from 2, then we do not have an answer if we just look in terms of natural numbers. So to give answer to these questions, we included another set of numbers which is called integers denoted by here. This natural number is denoted by n, and this contains numbers like 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, etc. And this gives meaning to subtraction. Okay, sorry for the mispronunciation. Yeah, so this gives meaning to subtraction. Now there are another class of or set of numbers which are called rational numbers. And these are made by division of or quotient of two numbers p and q, which belong to this integer set. Both p and q belongs to the integer set, right? But there is a condition that q should not be equal to 0, because if q is equal to 0, then this number will not be defined. And this set of rational numbers, this explains division, or this give meaning to division. When we are dividing a number with a number other than its factor, then we're not going to get any integers, we're going to get a rational number. Then there is another class or a set of numbers, irrational numbers. So which contains numbers like root 3, root 5, pi, e, etc., which cannot be expressed as a rational number or division of two integers or quotient of two integers. So yeah, this contains this kind of numbers. Now one interesting thing to see here is that this natural numbers is a subset of this integer set. That means all the natural numbers, all the elements of this natural number collection contains inside the collection of these integers. And similarly, integers is a subset of rational number, but rational number and irrational numbers do not have any relation in common. So this is a superset of integers and natural numbers. Rational number is a superset of integers and natural numbers. So what we can do, we can form a new set, real number set, which will contain both the element from the rational number and the element from the irrational number. This symbol is a symbol of union in set theory. So it means this set of real number contains all elements of rational number and all elements of irrational numbers. Now we denote this real number as R, and yeah, this contains all these four classes of numbers. Okay. Now there is another class of number called complex number, which is a superset of real number. That means this contains real numbers, and this subset and superset are denoted like this. So Z is a subset of Q. So this is natural number is a subset of Z, and Z is a subset of Q. Q is a set of rational numbers. Similarly, all these things are subsets of real numbers. And let's denote this irrational number as Q dash, let's suppose. Then Q dash is also a subset of real number. Not equal, this will not be equal. So this is subset of real number. A complex number is denoted by C, and it contains numbers like A plus IB, where A is the real part and B, this second part, is the complex part or imaginary part. Not complex part, it is imaginary part. And it contains a symbol I, which we define as root over of -1. Okay, so also one note important thing is that R is a subset of C. So you can think R as a smaller thing than C. So if we put this all in a Venn diagram, then it will look something like this. So if it is a set of C, then R will be a smaller set inside it. Then there will be a small set Q here, and the rest will be there will be small set Q dash. Let's say this is irrational number, and the other thing will be Q, right? This will be Q, and inside Q will have natural numbers or integers, and inside that will have natural numbers. So this will be N, and this will be Z. So this is a raw representation Venn diagram of all these sets, right? So this is all, and what else? Yeah, so we can represent this real number with a number line. So all the real numbers can be put in this number line, which extend till infinity in the left and right direction. So let's say this is 0 point, this is 1, this is 2. So we'll put all the positive numbers in the right side and all the negative numbers in the left side. Then there will be rational numbers in between these integers, and irrational numbers also, like say root 2, which is 1.41. Okay, so all these rational and irrational number can be put in on this number line. But to represent complex number in coordinate system, we have to use a plane. So I will not discuss this in detail now. It will be discussed in detail in later videos. So in this we can represent the complex number in a plane, where the x-axis is for the real numbers and the y-axis is for the imaginary number. So let's say we have a complex number Z, which is equal to A plus IB. Then we'll go A units in this direction, this is A unit, and B unit in the perpendicular direction, and then this point will represent A plus IB. So this is how complex numbers are represented. So it will be represented by a vector like this. And another way to represent a complex number is e to the power I theta or e to the power I theta. This r represents the magnitude of this complex number and theta represents the phase angle of this complex number. And we'll discuss in detail about these things in later section where we'll be discussing more complex number in details. So this is how we are going to represent real number and complex numbers. Now I will discuss something about inequality. So in inequality we have three symbols: greater than, smaller than, and equal symbol. So let's say we have two numbers a and b belongs to R. Now we find out a minus b. If it is equal to 0, then we'll say a and b are equal. If this number is greater than 0 or it is positive, uh, let's erase this. If it is positive, then we'll say b is smaller than a. And if this number, sorry, if this number is negative, then we'll say b is greater than a. So this is how these inequalities are defined. So this is all I want to say from the real numbers. And as this is a review of this concept, we're not going much deep into this. And you can go and see some elementary books, and you can find more detail on this concept. So yeah, so I'm making this video by reading a book by Scaum Outlines by the author whose name is More R. Spiegel, who is a PhD in mathematics, and I'll be following this book to make this lecture series. So thank you for your attention.